we are in month number, I think 4. We're behind, sorry. This is our April Mayfair packet. This has got a lot of flying geese this time. So, and I know we've been doing flying geese a lot, and I know some of you are starting to like go, oh my gosh, do we love the flying goose or do we hate the flying goose? Love the flying goose, okay? It's such a versatile piece of quilting. Love the flying goose. Embrace the flying goose. You're going to make a lot of flying geese. Okay, so what we're going to do is you have them all situated here. You have flying goose A, flying goose B, and flying goose C, flying goose D, flying goose E, and flying goose F. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F. You are going to be making 8 each of these and 4 each of these. Okay, once you get all your flying geese done, take a breather and take a break, because that's a lot of geese that you're making in one day. Okay, when you next see your geese, you're going to be putting them together in 2 different sets. Okay, so this is, how is it on your, it's actually this way on your paper that you'll see. You have A, B, C. You'll be making 8 units. And then this is D, E, F. You'll be making 4 units. Okay, now once you have all your little flying geese blockies together, we're going to go into the next step, which is mirror image sew and flip centers. So each of these centers is going to start with a large purple square. This is 4.5 by 4.5. You're going to take a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square, mark the center, sew down the center, trim, and flip back. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Lay the square, mark it, sew it, and flip back. Okay, here is the trick to this though. There are 2 different pieces that you're making. You are making, how many of these? 4 of these and 4 of these. Notice the corners are opposite. So 4 with the dark and the light, 4 with the light and the dark. Okay? Once we have these, we are going to take a block of a rectangle of 2.5 by 4.5 and sew them to the top of these. Okay, so you'll have 8 units, 4 on this side and 4 on that side. Next, we're going to do some flip and sews. Okay, this is fabric number 3. These are going to be 4.5 by 2.5. You're going to take a square of number 11, emboss. You are going to mark the center, sew on it, flip it back. Okay, these are your flip and sew 2.5 by 4.5, and when you're done with that, you're going to sew a square on the top. Again, we are making opposites, so you're going to have 4 of these and 4 in the opposite direction. I'm missing my opposite direction, but it's here somewhere. I will find it, maybe. Okay, we're going to move on because we're going to put our tulip blocks together. Even Chloe's like, where is that piece? I don't know. We'll find it. Maybe not, but we're going to try. Okay, so once we have the flying geese units, your flip and sew units, and your block units here, we're going to put these together. Okay, I am missing one. Wow, that's exciting. Pink in the middle, blues on the outside. When you lay these in, you're going to connect so that the light green is in the middle on both of those. And this is going to go on one side, and you're supposed to have an opposite that goes on the other, which I am missing. Okay, we're going to flip over your instructions, and we're on the second half of our month. This is page number 8, and you're going to be doing these flip and sew flowers. You're going to start with a square and a half square triangle. You're going to add a flip and sew rectangle, add flip and sew rectangle, add a flip and sew rectangle. Now when you do the flip and sew rectangles, these two are 4.5 by 2.5. You're going to put a 4.5 inch rectangle by 2.5, 2.5 inch square. You're going to mark the center, sew on that line, trim, and flip that out. Okay, now you do have to be careful because you want these to look exactly like the pictures on your paper. So some of these pieces are angled this direction. If you notice, this piece is angled in the opposite direction, and this piece is angled in the same direction. Okay, so in order for your flower to form, you need to have 4 of these with your white on the right, 4 of these with the white on the left, 4 of these with the white on the right. Okay, these two are the same size. This one is longer, and you're just going to build like a log cabin, piece, 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 piece. You'll be making 4 of these because these are going to go on the ends of your tulip lines. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the quilt, and we're going to take a look at how this goes together. You have your center block, which we've already put together. You're going to grab that from last month. You're going to sew the tulip blocks on either side of your center. Then you're going to sew your corners on either side of the top and bottom strips. Put them together and then finish the whole thing with fabric number, I think that's 13. Yep. To make your strips all the way around. So now we should be at this portion of your quilt.